Hi all, I'm Radhika.
Let's
Let
move
us
to the
learn the
introductory part,
lesson
that is the
Accept Me,
biography
which
of
is written
Smiley,
by the trans
Living
woman
Smile
writer
Vidya. She was
Living
born
Smile
in a Dalit
Vidya,
family
commonly
as a
known as
boy, and her
Smiley.
parents named her as
Okay,
Sharavana.
and we've
And
already
as
said
she is a
about the film
trans
Yan
woman,
Mary
she
Kuti,
was
and
born as a
in the
boy.
in
Her
that film,
parents named
the
her
character which is
as
played by
Sharavana.
Jayasurya,
The
that
first
is Mary
transgender
Kuti,
who
is
worked in
facing a lot
mainstream
of
job profile
problems
in India.
while she
She
has
got
decided to
education.
become a
As a
woman
result of
because
it,
she
she
was
got
born as
a
a man
mainstream job, that
instead.
is a white collar job
And we
in a
know that her
bank.
family
And she is the first
was very
transgender
much
who is
reluctant,
working
and her
in the
family
mainstream job.
rejects the idea of
Then
Mary
co-founder
Kuti to
the
become a
Penmai
woman.
Theatre
Like
troupe
that,
with her
in
fellow
this
trans
chapter or
activists.
in this
With her
lesson,
fellow
Accept
trans
Me, Living
activists,
Smile
she
Vidya is
founded,
also telling about
co-founded,
her
co-founded
own
with
plights
means
and
with other
problems and
activists, with other
issues
people.
that
She
she has
founded the
faced
Penmai
while she
Theatre
has
troupe.
decided to become a
And she was the
woman.
subject of national award-winning
And
Kannada
this
film Nanu
chapter,
Avanalla.
Accept Me,
There is a
is taken from
Kannada
her
film by name
autobiography,
Nanu
I Am
Avanalla. It
Vidya.
has won national award, and this film is based on the story of or the biography of our Smiley. Okay, now let's move to the text Accept Me. And before that, can you see our Smiley on the screen? Okay, this is Smiley, that is Living Smile Vidya. So here, Kalai Selvi, her nanny, according to the Tirunangai tradition, Aya took her to Pune. And we know that in this text, Accept Me, she is telling about the hurdles faced by her in her transformation as a Tirunangai. Tirunangai is the Tamil term for transgenders. And by becoming a Tirunangai, she has to face a lot of problems. And she has joined the Tirunangai community, that is the transgender community. There they have their own relationships, like they um, will attain or they will get new mother, new sister, or new grandmother, etc. And Kalai Selvi, who was a who was an elder Tirunangai, was her nanny according to the Tirunangai tradition, and she was her ayah, and she took her to Pune. She took Vidya to Pune, and she is describing different plights and different problems and issues and hurdles faced by her during the transformation. And a lot of problems, like a kind of ragging is occurring to the new Tirunangais. And we know that the old Tirunangais, that is the including Kalai Shelvi and all, and they are not at all ready to accept the new Tirunangais so easily. A kind of ragging, a college like ragging is occurring among these Tirunangais. They are ragging the junior Tirunangais. And here she is telling that they treats the junior Tirunangais as almost servants. It is almost servants, and they are meant to do all the chores and all the cleaning activities, including cleaning the spittoons to the older Tirunangais. And the elder Tirunangais treat the juniors as their servants. We have already said that. And we have already said about the Tirunangai tradition. And according to the Tirunangai tradition, Arunamma is a mother and Satya is a Raka. Okay, Satya was a Raka and Arunamma is a mother. Okay, and she met Priya, and she is describing an incident in which she met Priya, another Tirunangai, and she was also a very nice girl, and they were friends. And the goddess Mata is the goddess of Tirunangais, and she is telling about the goddess of Tirunangais, and they call their goddess as Mata. Mata means mother, and she met a number of Tirunangai girls like Lakshmi Ammal, Shilpa Nandini Ammal, etc. at Nani's place in Pune. That is, we already said that Kalai was taking her to Pune, and at Pune she met a number of other Tirunangai girls. The names of some girls are Lakshmi Ammal, Shilpa, Nandini Ammal, etc. At first, she named her as Preeti, but Satya Akka suggested Vidya as her name. Okay, and then a new birth, that is into the Tirnangai community, she is a newborn baby. That is why they are naming her at first. At first, Vidya named herself as Preeti, but the Tirnangai community, that is the elders, didn't like the name Preeti. And later, after some discussion, Satya Akka, her sister, suggested the name Vidya. And everyone liked the name Vidya, and the author, that is Living Smiley, that Living Smile Vidya or Smiley, liked it also. And she named or she changed her name as Vidya. By this time, her family was in search of her. They contacted Arunama. Okay, and by this time she was missing from her family. That is why her family, her father, and other elders were in search of Vidya, and they contacted Arunama, and we know that Arunama is her Tirunangai mother, and her parents contacted Arunama, her Tirunangai mother. And as part of this, Arunama summoned her to Chennai, called her to Chennai. Now she was in Pune, and Arunama called her to Chennai, where her parents were living. And she was very much worried about her father and thinks that she disgraced her family. And we all know that what will happen to a family in which one of its member is deciding to become a transgender, or one of the member has decided to change his or her own gender. And this was occurred to the family of Vidya also, or Smiley also. And to her parents she was Saravana, and now she has changed into a woman, a trans woman, and she has changed her name as Vidya. She is a completely new woman now. And anyway, she was very much worried about the emotions of her family, especially about her father. She worried much about her father, and she thought that somehow she has disgraced her family. In her childhood, she was fascinated by the things that her father bought to her sister Radha. Now she is telling about her sister Radha. Radha was already a girl, and she was born as a girl and brought up as a girl, unlike Saravana or Vidya. Anyway, uh, as Radha is a girl, her parents, especially her father, used to buy girly things, that is, maybe new dresses or cosmetics or ornaments to Radha. And by seeing all these ornaments, our Sharavana got fascinated. She liked those ornaments, but her parents didn't like a boy to wear those ornaments. Okay, because they think Sharavana is a boy, and they are bringing up Sharavana as a boy. And her mother once asked her, "Are you a broad?" Then, by seeing the fascination towards these ornaments, her mother once asked her, "Are you a broad?" Broad means a woman. Are you a woman? Only women are fascinated by ornaments, not men. That is why her mother is asking such a question. And Appa shocked. And now her parents were sitting at Arunama's place, and where our Vidya was also summoned. And Vidya was wearing a sari. Now she is a woman now, and she is very much fascinated by saris anyway. And now she is wearing a sari, and her appa, her father, shocked by seeing her in a sari. And she, that is her appa, didn't expect his son wearing sari, because in his concept, Vidya is a man. How can he accept such a scene? And she tried to console him, and he was collapsed by seeing Vidya itself. That is, from the first sight itself, her father collapsed. But Vidya tried to console him, but in vain. Okay. Anyway, our Vidya, that is Smiley, tried to console her father. by saying that what will happen if a permanent change will happen to her body, or some accident may cause some defect in her body. What will be your response? And such with such questions she tried to console her father, but in vain. Her father was not at all consoled. Now let's move to the last part of the chapter, in which she is asking herself, was he responsible for my woes? Was she the sole responsible person for her woes? Woes means her worries or her problems. That is, who is responsible for that? She herself hasn't designed her life like that. And it may be a manufacturing mistake made by the God Himself. And that is why she is asking, was I responsible for my woes? That is, by seeing or by listening to the problems of, or by seeing the response of her father on her woman identity or female identity. She is asking it for herself. And my worries are mine, and his tragedy was his. And she is consoling by herself by saying that my worries were mine. And she has a lot of worries as a woman, both as a man and as a woman, now, even now. And now she is alone, and she lost her individuality or identity, and a new identity should be created by her own. And still there are a lot of worries are there. And his tragedy was his means, that is, the tragedy of her father is quite inevitable. She cannot do anything with the tragedy of her father, and she could not console her father. And we know that it was an inconclusive meeting. That is, no conclusion was occurred in that meeting, and she could not console her father. Her father was not at all consoled by Vidya. Okay. And the only thing happened was her parents came to know about her identity and self. The only thing happened after the meeting with her father or family was that her father and her family got acknowledged, or they knew about the identity of herself as a woman. And this is the only thing that happened with that meeting, which was summoned by Arunamma in Chennai. Okay, now let's move on to the conclusion part. Conclusion part. The identity crisis is portrayed effectively from her own experience. That is, there is a kind of identity crisis for Vidya, because that is, she was born as a man, and she has turned her identity to a woman. So she lies in between, in trance between man and woman, and she does not belong to the woman community, and she does not belong to the men community either. So an identity crisis, a kind of identity crisis is there, and it is effectively portrayed in this chapter, Accept Me by Smiley. And the world is very much reluctant in accepting the transgenders even in the 21st century. And we know that there is no doubt that even now, the world, that is, we are very reluctant. We are not at all ready to accept the transgender community. And even now, we think that there are only two communities or two genders in this world, that is man and woman, and we are not at all ready to accept persons like Vidya. And this is effectively portrayed in the uh, chapter, Living Smile Vidya. And once again, I am reminding you that this is taken from her autobiography, that is, I Am Vidya. And it's a chapter, Accept Me is a chapter which is taken from her autobiography, I Am Vidya. And some movies like Nyan Merikutti pictures the plights faced by transgenders. We have already said about the movie Nyan Merikutti. And the society should accept their identities and treat them as humans. And there is a message, hidden message in this chapter. That is that's the title of the chapter itself is Accept Me. She is also a human. and accept me to the human community. And this is written uh, effectively or written with a lot of emotions in this chapter. Okay, read the lesson, read the chapter thoroughly, and if you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay, read the lesson or read the text very thoroughly and try to understand the emotions of Smiley. Thank you.